The message wasn't meant for me. I know that because my name wasn't in it. Her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter while she was in the shower. I wasn't snooping. I was slicing apples for our son's lunch. The screen lit up by accident, like a blink you can't unsee. Girl chat. A long message. I read the first line without thinking. I should have listened to the girl's 7 pieces of advice. Now I'm stuck in this pathetic marriage with him. Him. That was me. The room went quiet, even though the water was still running upstairs. I felt like I had stepped out of my body and left it standing there with the knife in its hand. I didn't move. The next lines rolled in, one by one, like slow footsteps behind me. Regret. Jokes. Laughing emojis. Someone said she deserved better. Someone else said she could still fix her mistake. My heart didn't race. It slowed down. Too calm. Like ice water poured straight through my chest. I locked the phone and set it back exactly where it was. Same angle, same spot. I even wiped the screen, careful not to leave fingerprints that would give me away. Upstairs, the shower turned off. I went back to slicing apples. Thin, even, perfect. Inside my head, something clicked into place. Not anger, focus. She came down smiling, hair wet, wearing the shirt I bought her last winter. She kissed the top of my head like always. "Morning," she said. "Morning," I answered. My voice sounded normal. That surprised me. She poured coffee, talked about traffic, about work, about nothing. She didn't look guilty. She didn't look scared. That hurt more than the message, because it meant this wasn't a mistake. It was a story she'd been telling for a while. I watched her hands as she talked, watched the way she checked her phone when she thought I wasn't looking, watched how she laughed a little too loud at jokes that weren't funny. I remembered things I had ignored, late nights labeled as team dinners, new passwords, a smile that didn't reach her eyes when she said my name. I told myself I was being silly. I told myself marriage had quiet seasons. I told myself love didn't always look loud. Now I knew the truth was quieter. It hides. That night, after she fell asleep, I lay awake staring at the ceiling. I didn't cry. I didn't shake. I planned. Not revenge. Truth. There's a difference. I needed to know how deep the lie went. I needed to see the shape of it. Lies are easier to beat when you can see their edges. So I waited. I watched. I listened. And I learned. I became careful, too careful to notice. I helped more, smiled more, asked fewer questions. I let her believe I was still blind. Inside, my thoughts ran in straight lines. I checked phone records, not messages, just numbers. One stood out, repeated, late, always late. I memorized it. I watched how she dressed on certain days, how she used perfume she never wore with me, how she came home tired but glowing, like she had won something. I didn't accuse, I observed. One afternoon I followed her, not close, not obvious, just enough to see her park 2 streets away from a small cafe. She met someone, a man. They didn't touch, not at first. They sat close. Too close, heads bent together like they shared secrets I wasn't allowed to hear. When they laughed, she looked younger, lighter. That was the moment something broke inside me. Not my heart, my patience. I went home and wrote everything down. Dates, times, places, patterns. I didn't need pictures. I needed certainty. Weeks passed. I stayed calm. I became a stranger in my own life, watching myself play the role of husband while counting down to the final page. She noticed something, I think, asked if I was okay. I nodded, always nodding. The truth doesn't rush, it waits. The evidence arrived on a Tuesday, a simple envelope. Inside were printed records, times, names, a clear line connecting every lie. I didn't feel anything when I read them. I felt finished. That night I placed the envelope on the table between us after dinner. Our son was asleep. The house was quiet, safe. She frowned, opened it. Her eyes moved fast, then slow. "What is this?" she whispered. I waited until she looked up. "You tell me," I said. She tried to speak, stopped, tried again. "I didn't mean—" "I know," I said. That shut her down. She cried, she begged, she said it wasn't what I thought. It was exactly what I thought. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I just watched her fall apart under the weight of the truth. There is something powerful about staying still while someone else breaks. When she finished crying, I stood up. "I have one piece of advice," I said. She looked hopeful, desperate. I almost felt sorry. Almost. "Listen to your friends," I said. "Leave." Her face changed. "What?" "You said you were stuck," I continued. "I'm fixing that." I handed her a folder. Inside were papers, plans I had already made. Calm, legal, clean. No shouting, no threats, just an open door. She realized then that I wasn't asking, that I had already walked away in my mind weeks ago. She begged again, said we could fix it, said she was scared to be alone. I nodded once. That's the point. I went upstairs and packed a bag, not because I was leaving, because I didn't want to sleep next to a stranger. When I came back down, she was sitting on the floor, small, lost, free. Now the house is quiet in a different way, not tense, clear. I make breakfast for my son. I walk him to school. I breathe easier. Sometimes I think about the message, about the words she used. Pathetic, stuck. I don't feel angry anymore. I feel accurate. She got what she wanted. Advice followed, freedom granted. And I got something better: control. The truth doesn't scream. It stands still and waits for lies to collapse around it. I didn't lose my wife that day. I let go of someone who was already gone, and I never looked back.